Okay, everybody. Well, good morning and thank you for coming. My name is Wade Cornett. I am the ITSM / Jira Service Management core competency lead here at Expium. And today we are going to be talking about Jira Service Management for ITSM. A couple quick things. This webinar sort of builds on itself from another webinar that we did last week named Jira Service Management Fundamentals. So if you missed that one, might be worth going back to our YouTube channel and watching that so you can get up to speed as to what we're going to be talking about today. The difference between this webinar that you find yourself in today and that webinar is that the last one covers all of the basic Jira Service Management configurations. So the portal, creating tickets as customers, managing tickets as an agent, basically your day-to-day Jira Service Management basics. However, this webinar today, we will be specifically talking about all the quote-unquote ITSM features that Atlassian has specifically put into a Jira Cloud. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I've got a couple slides. Oh, so sorry. I have a couple slides here I just want to talk to you about. Jira Service Management Fundamentals, I just covered kind of what we talked about there. So I'm going to go on. Jira Service Management for ITSM. So what does that mean? The ITSM functionality, and what I mean when I say that is IT Service Management. I think we all know that. And I like to refer to them as the managements. So service management, asset management, incident management, change management, problem management, you name it. Atlassian's ITSM features encompass all of that. And it does a couple of tools. It uses a, oh, am I not sharing my screen? Wow, that's so embarrassing. I thought it was. I am so sorry. So like I was saying, Jira Service Management utilizes a couple of tools to bring all of this together, but it is all something you are going to get out of the box with Jira Service Management. So I'm going to list off a couple of these things that we're going to be talking about today that that build into these demos and create this quote-unquote ITSM functionality. The first thing that you see listed out there is Insight. Insight is an asset management database that is no longer named Insight. So you can see here, I need to update my slides. It is actually called Assets for Jira Service Management now. So it's an asset and configuration management database. We will be looking at that. You do have to be on a premium subscription of Jira Service Management to utilize the asset features and functionality. But next is Opsgenie. So Opsgenie is an alerting tool and is incorporated into incident management. So by nature of having Jira Service Management on your instance, you are going to have the Opsgenie features and functionality already included in that. Next, we are going to be using automation for Jira, fully built in. Don't have to worry about that. It's just we are extending the functionality of Jira using the internal automation engine. And lastly, we are going to take a brief look at Statuspage, which just what Statuspage is a it's not an alerting tool, but it is a status tool, so an uptime tool. It'll display to your customers the uptime of all the services that you offer. So today we're going to talk about 3 and kind of 4 of the managements, right? So we're going to talk about service request management, asset management, incident management, and change management, all in the course of this webinar that you are attending today. About us, we weren't going to get to the good stuff without talking a little bit about me and who I'm representing today, and that is Expium. We are a Platinum Solutions partner with Atlassian, which means we have jumped through quite a few hoops to obtain that platinum badge, and we offer quite a few things. We offer training, such as the one that you are in today. We offer a whole host of other webinars on all Atlassian related products. We also offer private and public hands-on trainings, such as Jira Bootcamp, Confluence Bootcamp, and now Jira Service Management Bootcamp. So the Jira Service Management Bootcamp is actually happening next week. And that is a 2-day hands-on course taking you all the way from being a customer within Jira Service Management to being the highest level administrator and managing Jira Service Management as a whole. If that's something that you're interested in, we'll link to that sign up in the comments or in the chat section. That training, that boot camp, is actually on a rotating schedule. So I think the next one is in March if you can't make that one. We also do consulting within the across all Atlassian tools. So, you know, Bitbucket, Jira Software, Confluence, Jira Service Management, Jira Work Management, you name it. Anything Atlassian, we will consult on best practice, do custom configurations, and build anything that you need us to hands-on in your environment or over the shoulder where we are teaching you guys as we go. And custom development. So we like to say if Atlassian's products cannot do what you need or do not fit your needs, we can build you something using the open APIs that does fit your needs. So we have a full stack development team within Expium that can build any solution just about that you are looking for within Atlassian tools. So if any of that is of interest to you, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly or on our website. So now, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the demo. The first one is going to be the asset and service request management. So who is this for? This is typically for service teams and IT teams. What challenges are they typically facing? People need a way to easily track and manage assets as well as services relating to those assets. So the solution to this using Atlassian tools is an easy to maintain asset database that integrates into your ticketing system. And the tools we're going to be looking at today to accomplish this are going to be Jira Service Management, Insight, now assets, and automation for Jira. So with that being said, I'm going to close out of my slide deck and I am going to jump over to our IT Service Desk portal. Now, when we think of service request management, it is often easy to think about an end user requesting something. So in this example, I am going to be an end user requesting a new laptop. So I've come to my portal group and I'm just going to come to request a new laptop. It's a request type that we have built out and that we offer. So the first field that is displayed is, raise a request on behalf of. That's who's raising the request. That in this instance is me. The reason for requesting a new laptop, well, my equipment was damaged. Do I need to provide any additional details? I got angry and threw it against a wall. That makes sense, right? That happens to us. And now, because my organization is so awesome, it allows me to select which laptop I would like from a list of available laptops. So we will talk about this a little bit more in depth, but essentially we have an asset database that is linked to this custom field here that shows all in-stock laptops that I, as a requester, can currently request. We see 3 right now, the MacBook Pro 13 and 16 inch, and then the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. There may very well be more laptops built out, such as Dell's, a MacBook Air, you name it. But because we are managing our assets in a way that is highly effective, a user cannot request something that is currently out of stock or something that we do not have unless we are willing to order it. So right now, this field is currently scoped to only show the assets and the laptops that are currently available and in stock that I can request. So for this demo, I'm a Mac guy. I'm going to go ahead and select this MacBook Pro 13-inch, and I'm going to submit my request. Now, in the last webinar, we kind of talked through this submission screen that customers see once they submit their request, so I'm not going to go into that. But one thing that might be a little different is this request requires an approval. So let's take a look at that. And now, because I am also an agent within the service desk, I am going to just click this backend link and jump into the agent side of Jira Service Management. So quite a few things have happened in the background after I submitted my request for a laptop. First things first is the ticket that I actually submitted, which is listed out here in the middle. The key thing that I want to talk about is this field right here. This is actually an asset object field. So this field is displaying information from our asset database. It's looking at the laptop that I actually requested. It's showing me the name, the vendor, the screen size, the CPU, RAM, storage. And here's what's really cool, in my opinion, is the offered tab. Now, when I personally went in and requested this laptop, automation ran and switched this tag from being in stock to offered. So if this was the last laptop that we actually had in stock, now another customer could not come to the portal and request a MacBook Pro 13-inch because we currently wouldn't have any in stock. This doesn't mean that I've claimed the laptop yet. It just means that it has been offered to me. And we can see up here in the top right-hand corner next to our transition button that this ticket is waiting for approval. So a couple things have also happened. Automation ran and it looked into our employee database. It found my user as the requester. It looked up and found my manager, who's built out in our asset management database. It's identified him as Brian Dar. So it's automatically gone in and found that Brian's my manager. And we've said that only Brian can approve my requests for a new laptop. Really cool. Lastly, what has happened here, again, one of my favorites, it's also gone in and found my personal users equipment that was associated with my account, and it has marked it as damaged because I said that the reason that I'm requesting a new laptop is my equipment is damaged. So it's gone in, found the laptop that I currently had, which was a 16-inch, and it has marked it as damaged. Now, automation ran and did all of that without me having to do anything. Now, what I want to do is just quickly jump into the assets database and just kind of show you, give you a little tour as to what this looks like and how all of this is being accomplished. So if I come up here to assets, we can see our object schemas here. So we have a schema for each IT employee assets and employees. Both of these object schemas are playing a role in everything that just happened in our service request management demo. So we can come first and look at the employee assets database. Everything within assets is considered an object. So we have laptops, monitors, phones, all built out as objects in our database. And if I click in one of these, I can see different attributes that make up these this laptop. So, I click into this one. Here's its name, the serial number related to it. This one is also damaged, the model, the cost, and then the current owner of the laptop. Same thing for each one of these, the phones or monitors and phones. So this one's currently in use by Connor. And what this is doing is it's actually linking to another object schema and pulling the actual user's attribute. So I could actually view Connor right here and look at all of his employment information. So the status, he's an active employee, the date that maybe he was hired, his location, he works in St. Louis, his name, his actual Jira user, the department he's in, and his manager, all listed out here. So now if I come back to our object schema and I just quickly look at employees, I can show you myself really quickly and everything that happened to my individual user. Here I am, my location and my manager built out. But I do have over here on the right-hand side this inbound reference, and that reference is my one laptop that I currently have. We can see here, like we saw on the screen with the affected equipment field, that it has been marked as damaged. So really cool. Now, if I were to go back and approve this request, it would associate the new laptop with me, and I would turn my other laptop in a perfect world. So service request management, asset management, utilizing both Jira Service the management, automation for Jira, and assets. Not too deep of a dive there, but I think it gives you a really good idea of what is possible. Unfortunately, I do have to move on to our next demo, so I'm going to keep it to time here, which leads me to our next thing, which is incident management. Who is this for? IT operations. What is the main challenge with incident management? People need to be able to respond quickly to get things back on track and ensure proper follow-up with incidents that are coming in. So the solution for this is to use Jira Service Management as a centrally managed alerting tool and tracking deployments and service relationships in an incident command center with integrated communication. How do we do that? We're going to use Jira Service Management, Opsgenie, and a little bit of Confluence here. So let's take a look at all of this. I'm going to come back out to our portal here. And now I am going to come down to applications and I am going to report a system problem because something is broken. Same request form we've seen 1,000 times. What is the problem? Let's just say the website is down. We can see Confluence is automatically suggesting knowledge-based articles that may help me troubleshoot and resolve this issue without having to submit a request. Just by typing keywords here within the summary bar. That's not what I want to show you today, though. So I'm going to keep filling this form out. And brief description, I'm not really sure, but it won't work. Affected services. So what service is currently experiencing some level of outage? Well, I've said that that is my website. So I'm going to go ahead and click website here. Down below, we have a couple more things. How urgently does this need to be fixed? We can say medium. And what is the impact of this? I'm just going to say moderate and limited for now. I'm going to submit that request. Okay, nothing to really see here on this screen, so I'm going to jump back to the agent functionality. Give it a second to load here. All right, so a couple of things going on right now. the big thing is we have this affected services field showing us our website here with a giant exclamation point saying that something is wrong. So let's take a look at that. The service that I am currently saying has an incident on it, also has 8 open incidents right now. And what are they? Well, it's a bunch of people all saying that the website is down. So what can we do here? A couple of things. We can come to our open tickets over here and maybe quickly identify once it loads. Oops, actually, let's come over here, come to our incidents queue, and then go to open incidents. So looks like there are quite a few incidents where the website is currently down, and apparently it's all my fault. But using this queue right here, I can select some of these tickets that all say the same thing, and I can link all of these issues together and maybe say, hey, these all relate to one another. It's the same incident. So we'll just say ITSD. 423. It's mad because I have that selected. There it is, and we'll say relates to. All right, so one thing, we can link all of these requests together. That way we just have visibility and say, hey, we know that all of these requests relate to this one, or these are a bunch of duplicate requests. What we can do there is have automation running in the background to automatically close duplicated issues. That way we're not spending a lot of time triaging these. But now there are quite a few of the same incidents all linked to the one that was just raised, and we can call this our master incident. So now, using Jira Service Management's features for incident management, we can see a couple things. One is going to be the changes that have recently taken place on these affected services. So we can see here that all of these changes on the website are older than 6 months currently. So chances are that's probably not what is causing the outage. The point of this is to quickly and identify the root cause of the incident. So seeing recent changes on the affected services is one way to do that. Another option that we have is actually up here at the top, and it is probably my favorite feature. Let's say we had a recent change on our affected service. I can actually press this investigate button, and oh, look at that. There was a recent change on the website service, and it happened actually today. So I can see that this is deployment. If it's, this happened to me last time. Should be able, you know what, I'll just go to last week's. Pick a different deployment. So ideally, and this happened to me last time, but ideally you would be able to click this last successful deployment and jump right into your Bitbucket code repository. But every time I'm trying to click on it, it just keeps disappearing. So basically what is supposed to happen here is I should be able to click on this green dot and identify it as a potential cause for my current incident. And I would be able to actually click the link to Bitbucket and review the code that was deployed and identify if there was in fact an issue with that code that is causing this incident. So that is the investigate feature. I apologize that for some reason I'm not able to click on this, but we're going to carry on for now. A couple more things I want to show. We do have this little toggle over here that allows us to identify this as a major incident. This just routes it to a different queue and creates this tag up here at the top. I'm going to show you, and we're going to dive into Bitbucket here in a minute. I just want to call out some of the features that you get when you enable incident management. And that is going to be this conference call feature. So we can actually start a conference call that opens up a bridge within Opsgenie for all of your stakeholders and responders of this incident to actually come to and swarm around this incident and hopefully resolve it as quickly as possible. So this conference bridge will exist the entire length of the time that the incident is open. So that is really cool. If you also use Slack within your organization, you can create a chat channel around this incident. We can see here that we have our responders listed out. So when this affected service was selected, it automatically got routed to the appropriate responding team. Just a couple more things I want to show, and then we're going to hop over to Opsgenie and take a look. We have this new stakeholders option down here at the bottom, so we can actually, when we build out our affected service, or our services rather, we can identify who the stakeholders of that service are. And so throughout the entire process, we can actually identify them and notify them of the ongoings of the incident and how close it is to being resolved, or any information that we may need. So let's actually go ahead and jump over to Opsgenie now and take a look as to what's going on over there and just do a brief overview of Opsgenie. Looks like I do have a question. I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but I will be answering all of your questions at the end of the call. I'll leave about 10-15 minutes for those questions. So if you do have them, please put them in the chat and we'll go over all of those at the end. Also, it just occurred to me, we're doing a new thing here. So I think we're actually giving away a prize at the end of this call. So that prize is actually a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. So stick around till the end. Hopefully your name is called and we'll actually reach out to you and send you guys that prize. So thanks for attending. It's a new thing and I'm sorry I missed it in the beginning, but hopefully you're still here. All right, back to incident management. Right now we're viewing Opsgenie, which is integrated with Jira Service Management and is of no additional cost to you when you have Jira Service Management. And we can see here that an incident was just raised. So incident was raised and we can view quite a bit of information that is going on here. We can see the responding team, the owner's team, when it was last updated, a link to view the incident, any linked Jira software issues to this request. We can also see the total elapsed time of this ongoing incident. Excuse me. And we can also take us to our incident command center. There's also a fully built out activity log as to what happened. We can see that the alert was created through the Jira Service Desk Cloud integration with Opsgenie. It first looked at who was on call, and that is Brian Dar. It notified him. And then we can see here that the notification was successfully delivered. However, Brian has not acknowledged this yet. We can also view the responder states. It just verifies, hey, this was sent to Brian Dar, it was delivered, but he has not actually acknowledged this incident. So on the ticket, we can actually go ahead and acknowledge it. We can assign it to someone on our team within Opsgenie. We can also add a responder, snooze, or delete the incident. Another thing here that we don't actually have built out, you can run actions within Opsgenie. So it's, you know, an example of an action would be some code that automatically restarts your AWS server. So if you believe you know the issue, it's something that happens quite often, and the workaround, the fix to this is to just restart AWS. You can create an action within Opsgenie, and it would display down here at the bottom, and it would say restart AWS. So just an option. I'm not going to go super far into Opsgenie here, but I just want to show you that within Opsgenie, we create, teams, responding teams. And that's where all the functionality and integrations really live. So Opsgenie is your alerting tool. It is not a monitoring tool, but Opsgenie does connect to all of your, all of just about every monitoring tool out there that you can imagine. And we're going to take a look at that list here in a second. But we can see here the very first thing that makes up a team are its members and the on-call policies, routing rules, escalation policies. So this is the current on-call schedule that is running. Excuse me. We can see that Brian Dar is currently on call right now, so all requests that relate to Brian will notify him directly. If Brian does not answer it essentially immediately, it will move up to the next user in 5 minutes, and it will follow the escalation policy. We also have routing rules, just one configured here, which is if it's greater than a P3, then route it automatically to the IT operations escalation schedule. So cool stuff. This is pretty straightforward for any of your other alerting tools. Opsgenie can do just about everything else that it can do. Integrations. This is where you're going to connect all of your tools to Opsgenie. We have an entire list of integrations. So it will connect to just about every Atlassian product you can imagine, as well as quite a few other integrations. So I'm calling out the big ones here: AWS, Azure, Datadog, GitHub, GitLab. I mean, they're all here. Jenkins is here. So we can connect. Another big one is SolarWinds. We have the SolarWinds integrations down here. So you name it, Opsgenie will probably connect to it. If it won't, you can go ahead and build a custom integration via API, and it, that capability is possible. Not sure what you would be using that maybe isn't listed there, but it is an option that is available. So Opsgenie is really powerful. It is included within Jira Service Management. And it is really worth looking into if you are currently using another alerting tool. So one more thing I want to show you here is I'm going to go ahead and actually close this alert. And then I'm going to come over here to analytics and just give it a second. So we do have analytics that will run on Opsgenie. We can see there were 30 alerts created within the last month. Like right here was ours, so we can export this, download this. A lot of reporting capabilities built out within Opsgenie. One more thing I want to show really quickly is the ability to create a post-mortem. So we can come to our incident. Give it a second. View an executive summary as to what happened here. We can fill this information out, you name it, or my favorite piece, we can actually go ahead and export this post-mortem to Confluence. So we can select a space. Unfortunately, we don't have a Confluence space linked up right now, but we can export this entire thing to Confluence and post it there for all of our postmortems. So really cool integration with incident management into Confluence. All right. Now, my favorite demo is next. It's going to be change management. Lot of really cool in-depth functionality here. And it's kind of long, so I'm actually going to try to rush through the beginning piece so we can see the exciting stuff. So change management, change enablement, who is it for? Mostly geared towards developers, but also change managers. What is the challenge of change management? Managing risk, coordinating changes, and just ease the overall bureaucratic effort. So the solution to that is automated risk assessment, automated ticket creation, and automatic resolution of your change requests. So the tools that we're going to utilize to do that are actually Jira Service Management, Bitbucket, and automation for Jira. So I think what I'm going to do to save a little bit of time here, so I have some time for your questions, I can show you the old-fashioned way to submit a change, right? So here are some changes that we currently have that have been submitted and are open. We're going to get quite a bit of information, the change type, the impact, the urgency, the reason we're requesting a change. All really cool stuff, pretty common, straightforward things when it relates to change management. But Jira Service Management's change features and functionality do have this automated risk assessment, risk calculator built in. And what it's going to do is it's going to check the change calendar and if there are any ongoing incidents on the service that the change is happening on. So we can see here there are no conflicts, no other changes scheduled at this time, but there is one ongoing incident. So this may impact the risk of the change, and we may not actually approve this change to go through, because of it. So Jira Service Management has that automated risk assessment calculator there, and then you also have a built-in change calendar here. So we can just click into this one. There's a change on the website. Should be able to click into it and view what that change is, but not sure why I'm having trouble with that. That's okay. Just know that the change calendar is built in and is integrated. So now what I want to do really quickly, since we all have kind of seen what a change looks like, submitted manually, we can automate a lot of this using automation for Jira. And this is probably my favorite part. So I think maybe potentially we all know what a standard change looks like and what a standard change is. Basically, it is a change that is pre-approved by maybe your change advisory board and does not require approval. So what I'm going to do is I've now switched to a Jira software project, which is a sample Scrum project is what it's named. And maybe this developer has a story that is, they need to add the euro to our payroll service. Developer gets this story assigned to him. He's going to start working on it. So what he can, what's happening is he can make a commit over here within Bitbucket. And I'm not actually going to do that necessarily. I'm just going to make a little change. Who do I talk to about this? Wade Cornett, that's me. But he might not know everything. And I'm going to go ahead and commit this change and see what happens. So in this commit message, I'm actually going to reference my ticket, which is SSP-49. So I'm just going to say changes to SSP-49. And I'm going to commit these changes. So now I've just committed these changes to my payroll service. I can come down here over to my Bitbucket pipelines, and see that this change is currently in progress of being deployed. So let's just give it 1 second while it does that, and let's see how that actually impacts the ticket. What I'll do really quick while I'm waiting for that is come over here to changes and just get this, I'll go to close changes and get this ready. Let me go ahead and refresh my ticket because sometimes things happen faster than we think. All right, look at that. So because we committed that change, there is one commit on my add euro to payroll service. I can click into that and view that commit. So just changes to SSP 49. Really cool. But what's happened over here in the change management project, well, automation is still running, maybe. Let's get it. There it is. So automation for Jira, once that code was committed, it automatically created a change request, filled out all of the relevant information, and automatically closed the change request, all because this has been identified as a standard change. It does not have to go through our CAB approval process. So just for auditing purposes, the change request was automatically created and then automatically closed by automation for Jira. So one more thing I want to take a look at is a little bit more in depth, and that is a normal change. So now normal changes do have to go through like a change advisory board, for example, before they can actually be implemented. So I want to show you what that looks like. And so to do that, we're saying that normal changes actually apply to all of our tier 1 services. Our payroll service was not. So I'm going to come to another repository here, and I'm going to come to my our mobile app repository. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to just make a little bit of an edit here. Who do I talk to? Oops. Somebody that knows a lot about mobile apps is a friend of mine, Sarah. So we can talk to Sarah about our mobile apps, right? Who knows? And I will commit this code, and I can just go ahead and commit this. I don't need to reference a Jira ticket here. So what's happening now is this code is being deployed. So I'm going to jump down here to our pipelines. And we are just going to have to wait a minute, but I think it's worth it. So we can see all of the actions that are currently happening. The code is being deployed right now. Let's just give it one more minute. Oh, I just realized while we're looking at this, there is an integration with Statuspage for our incidents. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. I can create an incident. Maybe our website is down. That was our example. So website is down, and we can pick the component that is affected. That's our website. So I'm going to go ahead and create this, and now we can view our status page, and we can actually see that there is an outage right now. Our website is currently down. But what has also happened here is, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this, is because we have Statuspage integrated with Jira Service Management, if we come out to the portal again, I know I'm jumping all over the place on you guys. I'm just waiting for that to deploy. I get so excited and wrapped up in the moment that I forget things. Because there's actually an ongoing incident right now on our status page, it'll actually create an announcement on our portal saying that, hey, there's a status update. The website is currently down. View the status page for more information. So pretty cool, and I apologize for glossing over that. But let's come back now. All right, so here we go. We're talking about gated deployments. So this is a normal change. Right now, our deployment is currently paused because it knows that for normal changes, it requires an approval to actually be implemented. So if we give it just another second, a change request using automation for Jira is actually currently being created right now. And in just a second, it will show up right here, the change request that is created automatically. Oh. Sorry, I keep refreshing, so it will show up in just a second. I need to come up with more filler information. I got so excited, and now I don't have anything to necessarily talk about. Go ahead and refresh this one more time. All right, so it looks like it actually just happened. So if I come back here, yep, there it is. Using automation for Jira, a change request was just created for this deployment. So I can actually click View Change Request. And I can see that this was automatically created. It is a change to our mobile app. And right now, it requires our approval. So the code would not be automatically deployed until this has been approved. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this. And now this ticket is currently in awaiting implementation. But here's the best part. When I move this over to implementing, Bitbucket actually knows this. It senses the ticket update. And now look at that. It has automatically started deploying the code right after we move that to implementation or implementing. So once it's approved and scheduled appropriately, we can move it to implementing, and the deployments will be automatically handled using our Bitbucket integration here. So once it is fully deployed like that, we have a success. We can come back to our ticket, and if I refresh my screen, the ticket gets automatically moved to completed and marked as done. So really cool integration showing automating standard changes as well as normal changes within Jira Service Management, and that is using automation for Jira and a Bitbucket integration. So, well, I do apologize for hopping around a little bit there. I wanted to make sure that I got the time to show you all of this, and we've got about 10 minutes left. So I am going to turn it over to some questions now and kind of address what you guys have going on. So just give me a second to review here. All right, so we got our first question here, which is, the question is, regarding automation, do you build it or are there available automations you can readily use? Great question. They're a little bit of both, right? So within automation for Jira, there is a library of automations currently. So if I come to project settings, and I scroll down to, oops, sometimes I'm a little faster than the browser, and I click automation, we do have a list of library automations. So Atlassian does publish some automations out there. A lot of the library automations are not as in-depth as kind of what you saw today. So in that case, we would build our own automation to do everything that you saw today. I hope that answers your question. Will setup of app integrations have support from Atlassian partners? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. If you create an integration between, maybe Smartsheets and Jira, for example, that integration does exist. There's another really common integration is Jira to Power BI. If you are currently working with an Atlassian partner, by all means, they would help you in every step of the way, setting up that integration and maintaining that integration, so long as you're currently working with them. I don't fully know what you're asking there, but I hope that does answer your question. Long story short, if you are working with a partner, they will assist you with anything that you need related to Atlassian tools, such as app integrations. Another one here. From the asset management, service management perspective, can this be used like a traditional CMDB? Yes, it can. Assets can be used for just about anything. Atlassian does have a discovery tool that you can run to discover devices and assets on your network. So it can be used as a traditional CMDB. Yep. So I just want to really quickly recap, because we have a few minutes left. We did say earlier that we were giving away a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. I don't know if this is a good time to maybe call it out, but Patrice Wolf, congratulations. You've won yourself a pair of Ray-Bans. So that's pretty exciting, especially as we kind of get out of these winter months. So reach out to us directly and we will contact you and ship those sunglasses your way. Got another question here. Let's see. Is the discovery tool readily available? Yes, it is. So I'll just quickly show you kind of where that's located. I'm not going to go super deep into it, but if I come up here to assets, let's just say I click on this local discovery object schema, and I come over here to the far right, click the object schema dropdown, configure, give it a second to load, import. I can create an import, and here is the discovery import. So yes, I hope that answers your question. Got a couple more rolling in here. Is Opsgenie only available for Jira Service Management, or can it be used for Jira software as well? So great question. Opsgenie does exist as a standalone product that you can subscribe to without having Jira Service Management. However, because you don't have Jira Service Management, you will have to pay for Opsgenie as a separate product. So yes, it can be used for Jira software, only you will be paying for it as a separate licensing cost, whereas it is included within Jira Service Management. Hope that answers your questions. Next one, can you automate the creation of a Slack channel / conference bridge and Confluence page for a new incident? Can you automate the creation of a Slack channel, conference bridge, and Confluence page for a new incident? So no, I don't think so, not right now. It might be possible. I've never tried that within automation for Jira, but my knee-jerk reaction is going to be no, but let's just quickly take a look. The issue with that is, I think not every incident is going to need a conference bridge or a Slack channel. But let's just take a look really quickly. So if I come to automation for Jira, and I click, I'm just going to go ahead and just create a sample rule. I'm just going to run through this really fast. When issue is created, new action. And let's see what we have here as options. So we can send a message in Slack. Let's see if we can get any, oh, not link issue. Let's go to edit issue really quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with probably not, but oops, sorry. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be possible to automate those. Sorry about that. Using something like a script runner and writing a script to do it might be more possible, but that would require an extra add-on and a little bit of development work, but I can't fully say if even then it's possible. Hope that answers your question. Probably the last one, and then we'll wrap up here. Does Jira Service Management provide reporting, for example, automated reports for requests and incidents that can be sent to customers each week on a recurring basis? I would say yes and no on that, Austin. Or sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I would say yes and no on that. Jira Service Management does have built-in reporting both on the project level. You can create custom reports. So like a famous one is SLA met versus breached. You can export this to a CSV. And you can view this report within the tool. You can also create a dashboard that pulls this information in that you could give people access to externally. However, automated, sending this in an automated manner, not necessarily out of the box. There are a couple things that you could do. You could pull this information into a CSV, run a script to scrape the data, put it into a Excel file, and then send that off. But currently within Jira, you cannot send a report such as this external from the tool. So if you are interested in kind of a custom solution there, we can talk about that a little bit, because something like that would be possible. My knee-jerk reaction would be to connect something like a Power BI, manipulate that data however you need to, and then share that information with a distribution list, somehow internally outside of Jira Service Management would probably be my knee-jerk reaction on that. But all right, guys. With that being said, I really appreciate you attending. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and email me. I'll drop that in the chat. And I would be happy to answer any further questions you may have. So hope to see you on the next one. All right. Bye, guys.